Welcome. Today we are going to learn on tips and tricks of how to use Google Calendar, on how to be able to plan ourselves or our activities through Google Calendar. So let us see how much we can be able to learn today. Direct to our email. So log into your Gmail account. Once you log into your Gmail account, on the right top uh, right corner, you click on the Google Apps icon. Then you could click on Google Calendar. Then your Google Calendar will open up. Once your Google Calendar has opened up, so the most important thing is we want to show people that we are computer nerd. Or number one, what we're going to learn or what we want to see, we are going to see how can we be able to use keyboard shortcuts to be able to access our calendars, to access the events, to be able to click on a keyboard shortcut, and we are able to create to be able to enable window for creating a new activity on Google Calendar, or to plan on an activity or Google Calendar, or to be able to view the existing uh, events or activities already planned on Google Calendar. So let's see on that. So once we are on our Google Calendar, we are going to check if that parameter of shortcut of getting to use keyboard shortcuts on Google Calendar is enabled. So for you to be sure of that, you just click on the clock wheel setting tool, and once you click on it, you go to settings. Once you're on settings, you go to keyboard shortcuts, then you check whether it is enabled. So on mine, it is enabled. So let's see. So for you to be able to access and be able to learn on the keyboard shortcuts, so you can click on Shift on your computer or other machines also as well. You can click two keys on your keyboard. You can click on Shift, then you can click on the question mark key on your machine. So on mine, I click Shift key plus the question mark key, then it will enable it on my screen. So you can be able to see. So once you need to learn all this and have them at your fingertips, so that it will enable you, or it will help you to be able to navigate faster through your calendar, Google Calendar. Another thing to learn is how to use the mouse power. So using the mouse power on Google Calendar is something very, very much important. And let us look on how we can be able to use the mouse power on Google Calendar. So to use the mouse power, so the mouse power will help us to be able to view three consecutive events or four executive events within 3 days or 4 days. So we want to look at our calendar in 3 days. So the use of mouse power will enable us to be able to have that. For example, I can highlight as from 30th to 1st to be able just only to identify the activities that will happen within those 3 days. So mouse power is very, very key. So I can be able to highlight, as you can be able to see. So once I highlighted 3 days, the events for the 3 days already has been highlighted. So another thing or another importance of mouse power, it will enable us to move the events. We can move events to other days, or we can plan the event maybe across 3 days. For example, you can plan an event for 3 consecutive days. So that's how mouse power is very, very key and important to us. So it will help, we can be able to drag this event using the mouse power. So when I drop it there, the event will change and will send notification to those people who had already been invited to an event. So that's much important, and we can be able to change that event, or we can push it that event maybe to second. So it will also as well send notification that event has changed from 30th to second. So, and I can be able to double click on the event and add the reasons or describe the reasons why an event has been postponed from that day and has been pushed forward to a certain date. So that is the most important, those are the most important aspect, or the reason why mouse power is very, very important when we are using our Google Calendar. The third aspect is to create event from Google. So within our email Google account, we can be able to create a Google Calendar directly. So for example, we have a conversation maybe with my colleague, and we don't seems like having an agreement, or we are not agreeing on certain issues through the email. So, and also it will help us to minimize face to face, because maybe my colleague is not within the same vicinity or environment. So we could be able to use that aspect to be able to plan for the physical or for the online meeting through creating an event directly to from our Gmail account. So let's see that aspect of how it works. So for example, let's go back to my email and take an example of this thread here. So since we are not in a position to be able to agree on this, so let's say this is the sender. So we've been communicating and we're not getting each other on the best way to handle such issues. So what will happen if you want to we want to create an event directly through this thread, and we can be able to use this thread to be able to gauge on that. I will be able to get that. So you click on the eclipses. So we click on eclipses, then it will you choose or you select on create event. So click on create event. So once you click on create event, it will open the calendar. But what will happen is that you will see all the thread conversation has been pulled. So there is nothing left, even the title. Then I can be able to schedule for, I can be able to schedule this meeting. So I can be able to say 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. The time zone, I can be able to change all that and be able to send a calendar invite. So that's how you can be able, and once you've added and already it adds the other person or the responder uh, email address automatically. So, or the receiver email automatically. So, meaning both the receiver and the responder. So, so it will add all that it will add the email addresses automatically. So that's how simple it is, uh, using direct creating of event directory from the inbox. So let us look onto the fourth aspect of it. So once this is done and everything is okay, the time, the location, and everything, the link has been provided for the event or for the meeting, then we can click on save. So let us look at the fourth aspect of how to use Google Calendar, or how to navigate uh, through Google Calendar. So those are just tips and tricks of how to best use the Google Calendar. The fourth aspect of it is how do we how to set up the secondary time zone. So why is it secondary? Why do we have to set secondary time zone? It's very important. Whenever you do this, it will help you to know the time zone of maybe other teams that are not closer within you or closer within your time range, on how they have planned their calendars. So it will help you to know. Maybe if you want to schedule a meeting, and them also they have concurrent meetings at the same time that you are supposed to schedule for the meeting, then setting up the secondary time zone will enable you to know at what particular time they are free, so that you are able within the calendar, so that you are able to plan well for your meeting. So let us see that. For us to be able to work on that, you go to settings, click on settings, then you click on time zone, then you check on display secondary time zone, then you can label, so you can indicate me, then you can choose a time zone. So let's say so let us choose, for example, uh, so let's say Central Time Chicago, for example. Then we can be able to say, give it a label, visitors. We can have it as a visitor. So it will help us then. Uh, Once that is set up, then you check, go back, click on back, give it time. So you can see now it has been added on our calendar. So here you can be able to see visitors. So you have your time zone. At the same time, uh, your visitors, any other person within the globe, you are able to see their time, and you can be able to plan as well within their time, so that you don't plan within the middle of their night, or whenever they have meetings at the same time. So that's how you can be able to set up your secondary time zone, so that it helps you to plan well. So let us look at the fifth aspect of it, or the fifth trick of how to best use calendar. So the fifth aspect, or the fifth trick or tip, is how to be able to create multiple event notification. So creating these, you will see, is much important. So I'll be able to show you and be able to let you know how much is important. So let's see how we can be able to apply that on our Google Calendar. So the reason why we are adding multiple event notifications to our calendar or to our events is to help us to not to forget or to keep on sending a reminder to us so that we don't forget for most important events or key activities on our calendar. So for us to be able to do that, you go to the specific calendar. For example, this one here. Then you click on the ellipsis. Then you go to settings and sharing. Once you click on settings and sharing, then you go to um, notifications, event notifications here. Click on that. Then you will realize that the Google Calendar setting will give you a default notification already set up. So this one, like mine, is after 30 minutes it will notify me before the event. So it's very important. You can change this event to 15 minutes before the event, so it keeps you alert. It keep on reminding you on what is there or the next event that is coming, and so that you get to be ready for the event. So for example, you can be able to add more to that. You can click add. So you can add maybe 0, so meaning you will get notification earlier enough or prior before that meeting. Or you can be able to add so that email notifications, so that you get email notifications before in the next 10 minutes before the meeting starts. So this is very key. This is very key. This is very key. And also you can add all day events notification. Let's say you have quite a number of activities in the course of the day or events planned on your calendar. Then you can be able to add all that notification. You can set up the notification and you are good to go. So that's how we add notifications to our calendar. Moreover, you can add it to whenever you are planning here. Whenever you are creating a new event, you can also add more notifications here. It is something that it's there for you, free to use. So make use of this, and you will enjoy using Google Calendar. So let us look at the sixth trick or tip on how to use Google Calendar. So the sixth one. So after setting all that, now the sixth one, we want to see how to create an event. Very simple and very easy on how to go about this. So let us look at it very fast. So whenever you want to create an event, you can click here. You can click on create event, task, or so forth. Or you can. So how do we create an event? So this is how we create event. So number one, you can click on create event. You can choose either create event or task for yourself, or for your team. You can be able to create an event so that they can be able to know this is an activity or a key plan activity on the calendar that they need to join in. That is number one. You can choose one, either of these, and be able to plan. Number two, you can click in between the calendar, and once you click, it is created. So uh, so let's say Google Eclipse. let's say that is an activity, then we can save. You can be able to click to be able to add more or to add your guest. So guest, so it's me, only me. So it's an event that I'll only handle by myself. Time, notifications are okay. Then I save. So once I save, it will indicate event has been saved. So it will send notifications and so forth. So the seventh tip or trick that we need to learn is how to pin our calendar to our taskbar. So it has two different sides. So the process of doing it when you are using Edge browser is different with how you create it or how you pin it or how the process of pinning it on Chrome differs with Edge browser. So those are two aspects that you need to know. So let me take you through uh, Google Chrome on how to be able to pin your Google calendar. So I'll be able to explain the two aspects on how to pin a Google Calendar using Edge and Chrome. So when you are using Edge, you go and you click on the top right corner of your browser. Click on the three or the eclipses. Click on that eclipses. Then you go to more tools. So for the Edge, you go to more tools and click create shortcut, and immediately when you click on create shortcut, then the calendar will automatically will be created. For the Chrome, when you click on the eclipses, then you go to more settings, then you choose on create. It will give you a shortcut of this kind. Then you can be able to rename it or give it a name and say Google Calendar, maybe your name. So let's say Vincent, you can say Google Calendar Vincent, then you click on create. So for Edge, it doesn't give you one step process, but on Google, you have to do a one step process. So that's where the difference come in. So let us look at the eighth tip or trick for our Google Calendar. How then do we add or how do we set that functionality of adding calendar of interest? So what I mean by that, the calendar of interest. These are calendar. Maybe we have friends. We want to know what is coming, what is up with their life. Maybe they have birthdays, they have special occasions that they have planned for. So we want to be, or I want to be a good friend unto my friends. So that's the reason why I'll be able to check in that. So maybe I want to wish them a birthday. Maybe they have a very important occasion that I don't want to miss within their calendar. So how best to go about that is to click on the plus sign on other calendars area. So where it has been indicated other calendars area where my cursor is, you click on the plus sign. Then it will give you a drop down menu where you will be able to choose from. So it will tell you browse calendar of interest. So I click on browse calendar of interest. So here we are. So I can add birthday events. So I can click. I can be able to know regional holidays that they do have. So I can check on that. So it will tell you it created. So all that aspect is very, very key. You can add more as you want. Then global regional holidays. So if they're Hindu, Jewish, Muslims, Orthodox, Christians, and such occasions are important to my friends, then I can be able to check and be able to see. I can even check, and all that has been fetched. Maybe they have sport occasions that are very much important to them. Maybe I don't want to miss a friend's key day or in sports, so maybe I want to attend, then I'll be able to choose from that. So maybe I can be able to say, uh, click on that, then it will be added to my calendar just like that. Then we have others as well. So when you add that, very, very key. So you see here, I've already added all this, the birthday, the most important event to my friend. He has a sport day. On this sport day on Saturday, he will be able to have a sport day. So this day, I want to be able, I need not to uh, forget that important occasion. So I'll have to attend for the event or to wish them the very best during their birthdays parties. So that shows how much I'm a good friend to my team or to my colleagues or to my best friends. So the eighth aspect is to understand on how Google Calendar can help us to be able to get or to generate daily agenda emails for the events that are planned. So let's see how that is key to us when planning or an event or when we have events on our Google Calendar. How does that important to us? So for us to be able to set up that functionality or to set up that, we can be able to hover around the calendars and click on the eclipses. Once you click on eclipses, settings and sharing, once you click on settings and sharing, you go click on other notifications. So when you click on other notifications, here we have new events, changed events, cancel events, events responses, and daily agenda notifications. So the new events I've set that. So I normally get notification whenever um, someone has invited me for a meeting. Whenever there is a change to that event, I normally get. Whenever the event has been cancelled, I normally get notification or response. And whenever um, uh, whenever a guest or another person has been invited to event or to that event and he was not invited prior, then I'll be able to get notification. So I'll be able to know who has been added to our invite or to the event. Then daily agendas. So I haven't set up this, but I can be able also to set it up. So if I set it up to email, then I'll be able to get all the daily agendas or daily activities email notifications to my email. This is very much significant and very much important. If this aspect you enable it, it will help you so much because sometimes you might overlook or you might not be able to always look at your email or at your calendar to be able to see the events that are aligned for you. But sending that notification directly to your email is very, very significant and very, very important. So that is an aspect that you don't overlook. Please try all this aspect that you've learned so far, and kindly let me know your feedback. Subscribe to our channel, give me a thumbs up, a comment on how best we can be able to do this, so that we are able to give you the good content or the good course part of it. So thank you so much. Keep on supporting us. Your support is much important, because it helps us improve day in, day out. Bye bye.